Well, firstly, so here in Victoria, the state government, Daniel Andrews, has the Greens' full support in the measures that have been taken to get on top of the latest outbreaks of this virus. No one likes these restrictions. They're going to hit many people in Melbourne and across wider Victoria very hard, and we're all having to change our lives in ways that none of us want to, but we're doing it because we're fighting a virus and we're fighting an enemy that can kill. So Daniel Andrews and the state government has our support in the measures that have been taken, and the comments from the Liberals today are utterly deplorable. This is not the kind of politicking that we need at this moment, as we're all coming together to stop a virus that can kill people. And the Liberals, in making these kind of overtly political comments, are making it harder for the government to get people to follow the public health advice. And let's remember that it comes off the back of these very same people calling for things to be opened up earlier, for restrictions to be lifted earlier, which would have led to an increase in the spread of this virus. So utterly condemn the comments that have been made by Liberal members of Parliament today. This is a fight that we are all in together, and the state government here has our full support. There is something that could be done today that would help Victoria get on top of this crisis and prevent future outbreaks in other states. Everyone in this country could have paid coronavirus sick leave tomorrow if the government chooses to act. Here in Victoria, we've seen people come to work while they're showing symptoms or awaiting the results of their tests because they don't have paid sick leave. Too many people have been worried that they might lose money and not be able to afford food or rent, and so they've been forced into making terrible choices about coming to work when they shouldn't have to. In the middle of a pandemic, no one should feel forced to come to work when they're sick or awaiting test results because they're worried about losing income. But that is the sad reality in Australia at the moment. But there's some good news. The Prime Minister, with a stroke of a pen, could give everyone in this country paid coronavirus sick leave, which would not only help people and their families stay safe, but would help stop the spread of the virus. Scott Morrison now has a choice. Does Scott Morrison want to give people paid sick leave so that they can stay at home and follow the health advice, or does he want people to be making very difficult decisions about going to work versus losing their income? Here in Victoria, the state government has stepped up and given people some financial support, but it's up to the federal government to step in. The federal government doesn't need to wait for Parliament to sit again. The federal government could now, with the stroke of a pen, give everyone in this country paid coronavirus sick leave, which is not only going to help keep workers safe, it's going to help keep the public safe as well. So the Greens are calling on Scott Morrison to either commit to passing the Greens' paid coronavirus sick leave bill when Parliament resumes, or to step in today and make paid coronavirus sick leave a reality for every worker in this country. We want everyone to do the right thing and follow the health advice and stay at home while they're waiting for test results or if they show any sign of symptoms. Too many people, because of the rise of insecure work, feel like they can't do that because their income is at risk. Scott Morrison could take a step today with a stroke of a pen that will help us in Victoria get on top of this public health crisis and will help prevent outbreaks everywhere else across the country as well. The Greens are also calling on Scott Morrison to secure the future for childcare here in Victoria. We are now re-entering restrictions that we've seen before and having new restrictions imposed on us that we haven't seen before. This is going to have a big impact for the childcare sector. In the past, the government stepped up with free childcare, supports to childcare centres and supports to families. As of Thursday, the rules around childcare are going to change in Victoria, but we've heard nothing from the federal government about how they're going to look after parents, look after childcare workers and look after childcare centres. We need a very clear announcement from the federal government, and we need it now to make sure parents aren't left with the cost of meeting childcare centres when childcare restrictions are in place, to make sure that childcare workers are supported through JobKeeper or some other means, and also to make sure that childcare centres are looked after. The government's silence on childcare is worrying. We could see childcare centres go to the wall within the next few weeks. We could see parents being asked to pay fees that they may not be able to afford, even when childcare centres are closed. And we could see childcare centre workers and educators and carers wondering how they're going to make ends meet. It's time for the government to step in, reinstate not only free childcare, but support for the childcare centres, support for childcare workers, and support for parents.